Welcome to Nightmare again. Enter if you dare.
Alright, mates! Here we are playing Black Ops 6 Zombies. Today, I'm thanking you for 20 subscribers. This is our 20 subscriber special video.
I need you to look for survivors.
Thank you guys so much for 20 subscribers, the 20 of you that have subscribed. If you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Here is where we face our fears and become the champions of horror video games. Yeah, we ain't scared. Yes, we are. But today we're going to be playing some zombies. We're going to get to round 20, and I have 20 questions for our 20 subscriber special. 20 questions all about horror. And since we're on round 1, why don't we get to the first question? The first question is, what is the first horror movie you remember watching, and how did it make you feel? The first horror movie I remember watching was Child's Play. Yeah, I was about 4 years old, and that movie was on TV, and I just know, all I knew how to say was like, you know, I knew how to talk, but for that, I'd be like, I want to watch Chucky, because all I saw was Chucky on the, like, AMC commercials back in the day, or FearNet. It was on FearNet, but Chucky was on TV, and watched that. How did it make me feel? I was very scared. My dad said to go in the kitchen and turn off the light, and I was too afraid to get off the couch. So that's how it made me feel. Round 2, we will get right into question number 2. Do you prefer psychological horror or gory slasher films, and why? Well, I like them both.
I'd say I was sorry.
I like a movie that makes you think and everything, but I also like a slasher where you just, you know everybody's gonna die and the killer's gonna die at the end, or they're gonna reveal the killer. Like Scream is one of my all-time favorites. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a preference. I'll watch anything as long as it's good and scary. Alright, getting into round 3 here with question number 3. Is there a specific horror movie that terrified you as a kid but doesn't scare you now?
The people who lived here
Yes. I would say
them, and I can't
Nightmare
even
on Elm
explain
Street,
how.
which is probably, it's that and Scream are tied for like my favorite horror movie, I think. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, definitely. Freddy scared me as a kid. As I get older, I just feel like Freddy's just more fun than anything. And those first couple movies were definitely creepier. The first one is definitely like a good horror movie, especially an entry-level horror movie. It's not that scary, but it has the slasher elements and the, I guess, not elements because it's definitely a slasher, but yeah, Freddy probably scared me the most as a kid. Besides Chucky, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street, like the whole series. Moving on to round 4 and question number 4. What's a horror film that you think is overrated and why? Now, guys, this might be controversial. Get ready. But one that I know some people already know this. If you're watching and you're a personal friend, you know me, you probably know this answer, but mine, I'm gonna say, and it's a movie that a lot of people love. That's Hereditary. Now, stop before you come for me and say, Hereditary is amazing. I watched it. Now, I didn't watch it when it first came out, so this could be a fault of my own. But I watched it, and I was really, like, a lot of people were like, oh my god, it's like the scariest thing I've ever seen. And and I'm like, all right, let's see if it's really scary or not. I will say the acting in it is very good, phenomenal. Like I'm an actor myself, so I can appreciate good performances. Did I think it was scary? Not to my taste. It wasn't scary. Like I said, the acting is great. Can't complain there. I just felt like the story didn't do enough for me, and the scares weren't enough for me. Okay, that's it. Hereditary is the movie I think is overrated. Round 5, question number 5. If you could be trapped in a horror movie universe, which one would you choose and how long do you think you would survive? That is a good question. I think what universe I would choose.
One ugly bug KIA.
That is such a good question. Off the top of my head, I would probably say, like, let's go with, like, The Walking Dead. Because those zombies don't run. As far as I got to, so up to season 8, they didn't run at that point. So I feel like I could survive a zombie outbreak if it was like that. We'll just say that. Round 6, question number 6. Are there any horror movies you absolutely refuse to watch? What about them makes you avoid them? Is there something I absolutely will not watch? Off the top of my head, no, I haven't really gone out of my way to avoid a horror movie. Because usually, I like to ask people, like, what if they like horror, what's their favorite? And people usually give you the same answers. I'm just one of the same. Like, I'll say Scream or Nightmare on Elm Street. Because it's things that people have heard of. I like deeper cuts. Like Ice Cream Man, it's a 90s slasher. Or The Dentist, another 90s slasher. Or Pinocchio from the 90s. There's already a horror Pinocchio movie. I know they're making a new one, but yeah, not one that, maybe like Cannibal Holocaust. Because I don't like cannibalism. I think that's, if you like cannibalism, you're weird. That kind of stuff makes me go, ugh. Round 7. Question 7. What's your favorite horror movie trope or cliche? Even if it's a little overused. I would say like the...
Don't make me do it again.
A cliche. That's a good question.
You're already headless.
I'm trying to think of like some cliches. Maybe like the final girl. I don't know. It's a hard thing to answer, I guess. Oh, she's gonna die. Oh, yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like knowing a certain character's gonna die, like the dumb person or whatever. The clumsy one's gonna just know you know who's gonna die right away. And I don't that never really bothers me. It's more fun when like you think they're gonna die. Like that's my fun thing that I like to do is when you're introducing characters, like all right, out of this group, who do they want us to survive? Something like Bodies. If you guys have not seen that, it's from 2022. It was a good movie. I mean, they definitely throw you off when you think it's gonna happen. So I like those movies that throw you off. But cliches or trope, yeah, maybe just like knowing the character you know that's gonna die right away. So round 8, question 8. Which horror villain do you find the most compelling or terrifying? What about them stands out to you? Although his movies aren't the greatest, I'll have to say Jason. Now, out of the 10, I think there's 10, no, there's more than that. There's, what, 12? If you count the remake, Freddy vs. Jason, there's 12 Jason movies, Friday the 13th. They're not all great. Maybe one day I'll tell you guys what I like and rank them, but for right now, I'll just say they're not all great. And that's okay, they don't all have to be great. But there is something just like terrifying to me about a giant man, an undead zombie basically. I like it before they had like they were switching bodies and Jason Goes to Hell. I didn't like that. But like if you just think like just Jason, like Uber Jason from Jason, like that is terrifying to me. That thing coming at you, like, yeah, you're fudged.
I've got ammo and 6 years of
So I would say
contact
Jason
range.
is definitely the most beefy and scary
Now there's rowdy killer bugs.
out of
Kill
the
those little fuckers.
big villains. Freddy's, you know, Freddy's definitely scary. But as his movies go along, he just, like, his powers become weaker and weaker. Which I don't really care for. Alright, round 9! Question number 9!
Oh, the book of matches in my
Rolling
pocket.
along here. What's your
last,
opinion on
I got
horror
around
movie
positivity.
remakes? Do you ever think they're ever as good as the original? Aha! It's a good
In a few days,
question.
I guess I'll find out just how lucky I really am.
Do I think they're as good as the original?
You spoil
Depends.
me.
Some movies don't need a remake. Some movies have been remade too many times. Halloween needs to stop making remakes.
Max Armor.
Just give us a different story with Michael Myers. We don't need the same story written 4 different ways. There's like 7 timelines. I would say, like Friday the 13th, I would say the remake's better than the original.
Especially the bit where you went from on to
Nightmare on Elm Street, the opposite. Scream, you could argue Scream 5 is a remake of the first one with because there's so many similarities to that first one. And I get why they did it. So, but to me, it's just not that good. It's not bad. Like Scream, I love Scream as a franchise, so they can't make a bad Scream movie, in my opinion. They're all fun in their own way. But yeah, it depends on the horror remake. I mean, like The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. There's a remake of that, which that already is a remake. Or is the other one a prequel? See, like, you can't keep up. I don't know. I think we need more original ideas. I like more original ideas than I do just, like, easy cop-outs for money. If it's been, like, 40 years... like 40, I think there's a time for like 40, 50 years, and then you're trying to remake stuff, like, yes, but at least put your own spin on it. I don't even know how to describe that, but whatever. Round 10, question 10. Do you think horror works better as movie or as a long-form TV show? And why? I think this depends. If you can get it done in 90 minutes, by all means. We like those fun movies that are quick and easy to watch. Like Nightmare on Elm Street's quick, it's easy to watch. I keep saying Nightmare on Elm Street is just my favorite, so I'm just going to keep comparing it, but...
Consider that your final.
And then you have like things like Stranger Things that is now coming to 5 seasons long, and that definitely works better as a TV show, I would think, than movies. Imagine you had all this content and they just couldn't give it to you. So I think it depends on the story, but I prefer movies over TV unless it's like really, really good. I also think sometimes as a TV show, things drag out too long. Alright, round 11, question 11. Which TV show do you think blends horror with another genre the best? Like horror comedy, horror drama. I would say The Walking Dead. I mean, you could argue horror movies are already like dramas in their own ways. Now, when they're funny, a horror comedy is definitely my go-to because I love comedy too. So, that's a good question. Maybe The Walking Dead. Yeah, I'm not sure. Round 12. Question number 12. We're getting towards the end here, boys and girls. We've been going for 19 minutes. What's your favorite Monster of the Week TV show, and why does it keep you hooked? Monster of the Week TV show. Don't really have one. I don't really watch TV shows all that often. So I would say The Walking Dead got me hooked when it was on, because I don't know. I'm kind of a petty person when it comes to shows and stuff. People will be like, watch this, watch this, watch this. And if it's too popular, I am one of those people that might be like, I don't know. Like, it turns me off for some reason. And I know that's like a lot of other people too. But yeah, I don't know. Round 13, question 13.
All right, Riffle. Let's see what you've been keeping locked up in here. A handbrake.
Do you have a favorite season of American Horror Story? What made it stand out to you? I do not have a favorite season of American Horror Story because I have never seen it. And yes, I call myself a horror fan. Everyone tells me to watch it. I definitely will give it a chance one day.
Extra effort
Haven't had
from
the rhyme or reason to it so far. Round 14. Question 14. Do you enjoy horror that's more supernatural, or do you prefer psychological thrillers and grounded horror? I like a horror movie that makes sense. If you're throwing 10 different bones at me and trying to get me to make it make sense, I'm going to probably not like it as much. Now, if they all make sense, then it's fine. I enjoy being thrown off. That's the fun of horror sometimes too, is trying to guess what's going to happen. I don't really care if it's supernatural or not, so I would just say I enjoy stuff that's both grounded and you can go a little bit outside of the box too. Round 15, question number 15. Have you ever played... These are all about horror video games now. Have you ever played a horror video game that kept you up at night? What game was it, and what about it was so unsettling? Not a game I've... can't really think of one that's kept me up at night. I'm not that scared of games. But I did have a nightmare about Resident Evil 7, so I guess I'll just say that. Resident Evil 7 gave me a little nightmare. Alright, he's dead. Question number 16 for round 16. Do you think horror games are scarier in first person or third person view? I would say they're scarier in first person for sure. First person horror is, you can feel them breathing down your neck. You feel like you're there. Especially if it's dark and you turn all the lights out like I do.
That's what happens when you say teeth.
I think it's first person's definitely scarier. Third person's definitely can be scary, depends what the game is. Like Dead Space is third person, and that game's scary. I think you could switch back and forth. If I remember, I'm not sure. Could be remembering that wrong, so don't quote me on that. All right, round 17. Question 17. What's the scariest moment you've experienced in a horror video game? I would say when I first played
Be advised, exfil windows closed.
Dead Space, and not the remake, but the original on PS3. And there's, like, your character Isaac doesn't talk in that game. He talks in the remake, but in the original, if you remember, he does not talk. So going through that game, the first level, like, scared the piss out of me. I, like, refused to touch it. I did not touch it until I beat the remake. So when I was all grown up and the remake wasn't scary to me. It was definitely scary, but you know what I mean. I wasn't, like, terrified like I was when I was a kid. So yeah, I would say the original Dead Space. Trying to play through that. The first game that horror game that I completed was The Last of Us in 2013. So, if you're liking that series, The Last of Us, hit subscribe. Videos every week. Alright, question number 18. Do you prefer horror games with a slower, more atmospheric build-up to horror? Or do you like quick scares and jump scares? I would say I like both, actually. I like when you, like, know it's gonna happen, and then it happens and you get, like, oh shit, like, you actually get scared. But I don't know. I kind of like the slower atmospheric build-up. To me, especially in a game, it feels more real to you than if you just every second you're jump scared by something. Because the jump scares do wear off, but the build-up is always more terrifying, especially in movies too. If it's just constant, like, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. Yeah, there is a person that's gonna be scared like that, but I mean, come on. Usually, you're going to get over it pretty quickly. Question 19. We're coming to the end here, folks. If you could create your own horror video game, what would the plot be, and what kind of monsters or threats would it feature? My own horror game. That's a good question. I would probably make it a first-person horror. You're with a couple friends. Like, probably 2 other characters.
Did anyone else see that?
And you start out trapped in the school's basement. And you find out, like, the teachers all were, like, plotting to kidnap you and your friends. Because you guys were the worst kids in school. Something like that. And then, like, or maybe, like, the kids were, I don't know, something to do with a school and
I think you just experienced what's known
being
as
like, you know, maybe like a middle school, and then like you're in the perspective of like a younger kid, so it's more scary. A couple boys running around getting scared by their teachers, and then we find out at the end that it was all a prank. Round 20. Our final round. And our final question. So thankful for 20 subscribers. We're moving up slowly but surely. We told you the road to 1,000. The road to 1,000 wasn't gonna be quick, but it's gratefulness that we care about. But question number 20. Do you enjoy the feeling of being scared? Or do you watch / read / play games for the thrill of overcoming fear? I was always afraid to play horror games. I loved horror movies, but something about horror games to me was just absolutely terrifying. So I would definitely say I avoided them for a while. Yeah, I would say I like being scared. That's why I watch horror movies. I like the endorphins that it lets out. I would say I like violence in film. I don't like violence in real life. I don't think it's necessary to get your point across, but all is lost, yes.
Chopper's available for
So,
exfil.
but I enjoy it for the thrill, and I enjoy it for you guys, and overcoming my fears in games, and I hope that's what you do when you watch these videos. You're coming along for the scares and the ride with me. But that's 20 questions for 20 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, if you're one of the first 20, say, it's me, hi, I'm a subscriber down below. I will like and heart every comment. Thank you guys so much. And keep coming back for more episodes of Nightmare Arcade. I think we're going to start doing more videos each week. Instead of 3, maybe bump it up to 4 or 5. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys again. It's been Nico. I hope you got scared. Maybe not in this video, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.